Hello and welcome to IGN Anime Club, episode 63. Yay, anime.
Yay, anime!
Yay, anime. Oh, I was late.
So I'm your host, Marina Sanchez, and joining me is Kelly Plaguey.
Hello.
Megan Sullivan.
Yo.
Mike Mamone.
Hey.
And the guy who was late.
It's me, Andrew. Hi.
Andrew!
Hey. Golf clap, this is your first time on.
I know, I'm excited. Yay.
The most moe boy at IGN.
Yay.
It me.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen that episode where I call Andrew the most moe ever, it was a Jared Petty episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of good tweets with dog gifs. That was nice.
Yay. So this is your first time here?
Yeah,
Welcome.
I mean, it's funny because like I like anime culture a lot, and like I play a lot of games that get anime adaptations, but I'm not like a big anime watcher really. Other
Until
than Persona
now.
stuff. Yeah. So it's like for Persona and Danganronpa are like my things. So yeah.
We converted you.
I brought my Persona toys.
Yeah, ladies in the video.
Well, not all my Persona toys.
Ladies
but-
and gentlemen, if you are not watching this video, please go to your Xbox, go to your PlayStation 4, go to your Roku, Apple TV, all that good stuff, or IGN.com, or our YouTube channel, which is IGN Anime Club. Check out this amazing army of Persona 5 and 4 and 3.
So Megan and I came up with some toys, and then we're like, oh, never mind. Because Andrew just like moved in.
And kind of toys like hidden behind all this. I'll show you guys later.
This is just a sampling of what you own. So,
Yeah.
but we'll talk a little bit about the toys later.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we
a
have
tease. So
A
that's
tease of
foreshadowing.
our topic, but
Ooh.
yeah,
we're
we
not there
actually
yet.
got a lot of that plays in so many ways too.
Yeah.
2 topics.
Yeah,
Ooh.
concerning your toys.
That's
Wow.
true. But first, we're getting into what we do every week, what we're watching. So, what are you guys up to? What have you been
Should we start with the guest?
doing?
It's me. Well, I watched the last of the Persona 3 movies, Winter of Rebirth. I actually really like these. I super prefer the Persona 3 story to the Persona 4 story, actually, even though I probably like the 4 characters better. But these movies have been super gorgeous, and this is actually probably my favorite of the 4. So I was watching that last night, or the night before, and I watched Daybreakers, the Persona 5 anime, which we're going to talk about a little bit here. And I also watched, I caught up on Final Fantasy 15 Brotherhood.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
Which I'm actually super into. I wish they were longer. Like my thing with those is that they feel so abbreviated, but they are really nice little glimpses at like rounding out the party, so we don't only know about Noctis.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be like 5 minutes, not too much longer for me, but yeah, I agree. They could be a little longer just to flesh it up more.
Or like a little more consistent release schedule? Like it
Yes.
feels like it's
Yeah, that's
so
a weird thing.
random.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess we'll get another few minutes sometime.
Yeah.
So that would be helpful.
Yep.
Wow.
Right.
And
Nice.
then I've been watching non-anime stuff, including Mr. Robot, because he looks like an anime boy.
It's kind of anime-ish. It's kind of
It could
anime-ish.
happen.
Sounds like an anime, Mr. Robot.
It does sound like, it sounds like actually, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just made an anime of it.
Yeah.
Called Mr. Robot.
Call to
That's
action.
your
Someone make
favorite
that.
Mr. Robot anime drawing.
Nice.
All right. Well,
I've also been actually watching Daybreakers,
Yay.
or the Daybreaker episode, which I loved. We'll talk about it later. And I decided to catch up a little bit with Kuromukuro, which is a mech anime on Netflix.
Yeah.
I it's so good.
I watched
Yeah.
the first 2 episodes at Anime Expo and have not gone back. Not that I didn't like it. It's just I keep forgetting that it's there. Because I'm never on Netflix for my anime. Like, that's just not a thing.
Oh yeah, no. The only reason why I watched it again is because I've caught up with everything I'm keeping it with. So I'm like, I guess so. All right.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, no, I like it. It's just
Okay.
I'm trying to, because I finished Euruka 7 a couple of weeks ago, so now I'm trying to figure out what to watch again. And then I was like, I was watching Friends on Netflix, so I'm just gonna watch Kuromukuro.
Me too. Oh my god, you were watching
were you?
Friends
Yeah.
too? Nice. The ultimate anime.
Exactly. So yeah, for those that don't know, Kuromukuro is a mech anime about a high school girl that meets a
Surprise.
samurai from the Sengoku period, and apparently mechs
Man,
existed
goals.
back in the day.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Scoop.
So, yeah, and then these ogres or bad guys are come down from the sky, and now they're fighting other robots. So yeah,
Robots fighting some robots
If you-
with samurai.
yeah.
if you don't know, Friends is an anime about
yeah.
5 people who date.
Wait, six?
Six people who date
Kill
each
them
other.
off.
Yeah, they live in a mythical world where you can get a huge apartment in Manhattan for like no money.
Super cheap.
Yeah, you get insurance and you can afford that
Yeah,
apartment.
wait
Just
for
like,
some, like,
go
an
to the
extra,
same like coffee
yeah.
shop every time.
Yeah, there's love triangles. Like, highly recommend.
Yes.
Speaking of recommending things, I am almost caught up on ReZero.
Yes.
I watched I think 13 episodes this weekend while at Call of Duty XP.
Nice.
So,
The perfect setting.
so like I'd come back to the hotel and I'd be like, it's time for ReZero. Like it was just, I love it so much.
I'm so happy.
Yes.
I've gotten so many messages recently of people saying, Miranda, you were right about ReZero. I'm like, told ya. I'm not gonna lead you astray, guys. Like, it's really
good.
really good.
I want to cosplay Rem now.
I know, me too. We should be the twins.
We should be Rem and Rem.
By the way.
You're definitely
Anyway.
Rem.
She got covered.
Anyway, but yeah,
Yes.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad. I always write ReZero on the what we're watching list.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know.
duh.
It's like, it's just a given.
It's like seriously the one show that I like have to keep up with. Like no matter how busy or how bad my life is, I'm like, ReZero's there for me.
Yeah.
And I will be sad, but it'll be okay.
Rem will hold your hand and
Yeah.
it'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I just realized you actually do type out "duh" in parentheses next to ReZero. It's really cute.
Mine has 7 exclamation points.
Hey, Andrew.
For the approximately 7 hours I spent watching it.
You should watch ReZero.
Maybe I will.
Did we tell Andrew what ReZero is
No,
about?
I have no idea what
because if
ReZero is.
you're just now joining the
Oh,
podcast.
Resident Evil Zero.
Oh yeah, that's exactly.
They made an
God.
anime.
Yeah, the quality is exactly the same. Yeah, I mean, we talk about it a lot on the show, so I always like take it for granted. But basically, it's about sort of like a neat. Do you know what neat is?
The way I order drinks. No, I don't. I have no idea what it is.
It's like it's an acronym. I always forget what it
It's
stands
like
for.
not in employment, or not looking for employment, or in education, or I forget what
Something
it exactly
It's
is.
like a
call to
shut-in
action.
basement
Cool.
dweller sort of
Oh,
stereotype,
gosh.
but a little different.
It's like you're not trying to further yourself in society. Like you're not going to try to
just-
work. You're not trying to do anything. You're just
A lazy boy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's about a NEET who gets transported into a fantasy world, which is like a trope that's overdone in anime, but it's done super well because he like dies instantly, but he respawns, but he retains like not just the memories of his past like save point basically, but like the trauma of it.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
it just really opens up dramatically a couple episodes in, and I was like, what? I did not expect it to go here.
it's written
I like that.
so well.
yeah, the
like
writing's really well. Really
easily
well
one
done.
of my favorite characters. Like, even though I hate Subaru, like
Yes.
he's easily one of my favorite characters to
Oh.
be like portrayed on screen in a very long time.
He's a perfect example. Yeah, so the main character is a perfect example of a character who is written to be awful and to make you hate him, but it's not frustrating to watch because of that. It's just like, but I hate you. I almost swore.
Yeah, I know. Like I almost did it like 3 times earlier when I was talking, like getting super passionate. I was like,
About ReZero.
yeah, about ReZero.
And then there's lines. I mean, I won't say specifically what they are because I mean it's like sort of a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler, but I won't say it. But there's a line that one of the characters says that just, or not a line, but there's like a scene that resonated with me so much. And, oh man, I wish maybe we'll do a spoiler cast or something.
No, we
Yeah.
will absolutely
But
do a spoiler cast. Like I cannot
I mean,
live
it's-
until we do it.
Is it like the whatchamacallit, all you need is kill, or the Edge of Tomorrow thing? Like
So-
that sort of idea? Like
Sort
where
of.
he's
But
reliving
he's
it?
not strong in any way.
He's
Okay.
Yeah.
terrible.
Like he is a piece of trash. Like
Yeah.
he is physically fit because he was like, well, even though I'm a NEET and like live at home, like I still work out, so like I can still
Okay.
be healthy and watch my shows. But he is not capable. Like he is obviously set. Like I'm going to be the protagonist in this new world. Like I'm obviously going to be great, and he's not.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's just
And the
he's
show
trash.
constantly punishes him for that, and that's the best thing about it.
And like you'll watch him, like it's so frustrating because he's repeating the same like set of days or something from his like an imaginary save point, but he doesn't do it the way anyone else would do. Like if it's me and I've just come into this like totally new world, I'd spend my first like little bit just learning about it, and then I'd be like, all right, time to die, and then I would like start over.
but it's also a gamble too because he doesn't know.
Well, the first
how
time
it works.
he doesn't know how many times he can. I mean, like
Yeah.
Like we still don't know the parameters of like what this is.
you could assume that like maybe this is the last time I die. Like I can't respawn after this. But my whole thing would be like I would find something to bet on, I would learn the outcome, and then I would die, and I would make a bunch of money. Like that's
really smart.
So it's like when you're watching Fairly Odd Parents, and you're like, why is that your wish, you idiot? So that's like, it's kind of you're just like, oh my god, you idiot, Subaru, what are you doing? Why are you saying that to her? Why are you in love with her? You don't even know her. Like,
Who are you? Like, who do you think you are?
like, and he's just like, I've done it, and I'm like, no, you didn't. He's like, I've done everything. I'm like, you suck. So you should watch it.
All right, into it.
It's so good. Yeah.
Anyway,
Immediately leave the room.
that has been your ReZero hour. Thanks for joining us.
It's so good. Anyway, I always want to talk about it. I'm so glad you're getting into it, so we have an excuse to talk about it more.
Oh, God.
Anyway, I've been watching Orange.
Oh, really? Finally?
Rip.
Yeah.
I heard it.
So I haven't seen the most recent episode. I guess it's like episode 8 or something.
Yeah,
the previous,
8 or 9.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 9. Previous 2 episodes were awful. Orange has
I've heard, yeah.
gone-
Animation was like
Orange has gone so downhill.
Wait, so was it the writing, the animation, everything? Like what?
Everything.
And
so
the manga.
Jeez.
it was very.
Is the moral just read the manga? Because I've heard the
I
manga
think
is
the
phenomenal.
moral is read the manga. So it's about this girl in high school who gets a note from the future saying that like you have to save this kid. Like here's everything that's going to happen. You have to save him because something bad happens to him.
It's from her like self 10 years in the future.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like after she's an adult, like she has a family, and she's like, hey, this really terrible thing happened to one of our best friends in this group. You have to save him. And so it's about her and her friends. Like she's not trying to let her friends know that she has this note, and trying to figure out how she can save this kid in their group who's obviously very, very depressed and is having a hard time. And it's like romantic and cute, and like obviously she has a crush on him, and the solution quotations is like her like falling for him because he likes her, but she never really came around to it in the future, and now she just wants to make sure that like happens this time kind of thing. But her character is like so unbelievably ignorant about that stuff. Like at one point he holds out, like this is kind of a spoiler, but also I don't care. He holds out his hand and she just looks at him and she's like, what? And he does it again later and she's like, what do you want? Kind of thing. It's like, I want to smack you in the hole. You're so stupid. Like, you're dumb. Like they've admitted at this point, like they've admitted their feelings. Like she knows how he feels. He kind of knows how she feels, and it's just like, oh my god! No wonder something happens to him. You're awful. How it's just like. What? And so like it starts getting more and more like that. Like at first it was sweet, like her ignorance was sweet, like she doesn't really know how to handle this, like she's very shy, and she's like
the first
kind of
episode was
overcoming that.
really sweet.
Yeah, like it gets there, like it's really nice the first few episodes, but then pair that with the animation going like super downhill. Like I've never seen like a show drop so bad.
Jeez.
It was like that part in Shirobaka with Jiggly Jiggly Heaven. Like it was that bad.
God.
Really?
Like,
Like, was it like the fourth
hands-
episode of Gurren Lagann where it's just
it was so bad that it was hard for me to look at it.
Wow.
Like I was
Jeez.
watching it, like they would stop because obviously they're trying to like maybe cut back on some of the scenes, and like eyes would be like wrong on the face.
Oh,
certain
no, it's like one up
characters.
here, one down the
Yeah,
chin.
like the voice acting's so
Concept
great
painting.
and
Okay.
stuff, but like the eyes are weird and like the faces keep being drawn different ways. And like at one point, I think one of the guy's hands was just like melded together. And it was like really bad. And I feel bad because obviously there's something going on in the studio that's like making this happen. Like this really tragic to
staffing
see something
problem.
like that. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I can only imagine how bad it is for the staff right now.
Yeah.
And I feel
maybe
bad
they
in
have a
that
taro
sense,
or
but-
something.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
They should have done a
something
recap
obviously is
episode.
Something's very going like very poorly with production, and it's just sad to see the show just get so downhill. I haven't,
Wow.
like I said, I haven't seen the most recent episode, so I don't know how good or bad the animation is in that one. But oh my gosh!
All right,
I just
well,
wanna
the
check
lesson
that
is
out.
there's manga.
I want to clarify because when we were talking about like what the show's about, it sounds like the friend zone killed him and then just killed the whole show. That's not what happened. The friend zone won't kill anybody, but
No, like he's got a very other big problems that I want to talk about because those
Those
are like
are-
significant spoilers.
just watch
Okay.
Oh man.
or read.
It's very
the
sad.
manga's on Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah, Crunchyroll has the manga, and then they also have them out that you can buy. I think it's only two 2 really big volumes.
It's
so.
interesting that the quality for that show has gone down, but the quality for Berserk, the show that I'm watching, has finally gone up.
Yay!
This was a huge problem. So for Berserk fans, you can finally come back on board. If you don't know what that show is, it's about a swordsman mercenary who is currently getting vengeance on an unholy group called the God Hand. They did bad things in the original anime. So Guts is out for vengeance. It's been sort of a slow build towards that, but finally, a Tower of Conviction story is coming together. It's Mosgus and his goons versus Guts, and episode 10 was really good. The past couple episodes are really good, and the CGI quality is finally being where it's supposed to be. Like the
good.
first few episodes were just
They were rough, cringy.
And so just
really
to
rough.
recap, this is not where you want to start with Berserk.
This isn't
Right.
well. It's not. So this is a new Berserk. It's also a new story. So in order to understand what's going on in this season, you do need to get familiar with the Golden Age arc, which is all about the Band of the Hawk and Griffith and Guts and how everything that happens with them and how it leads up to this very satanic ritual where everything falls apart and gets really chaotic. And so this is a continuation of that story. So in order to understand what's going on, you really have to either read the manga or you have to watch the Golden Age arc. Also, quick bit of news, Berserk, the video game, is confirmed for
Yes.
North America. It
Sweet.
doesn't have a date yet, but it
Yeah.
is coming to
I think-
PS4, Vita, and PC, and it's a Dynasty Warriors type game.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I think-
like a Musou for
Yeah.
Berserk?
Yeah,
Yes, which
so
totally
with
makes
Guts.
sense.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so you can play as Guts or Griffith, which is kind of interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think we may see that at TGS.
Yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
news out of this morning.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Brenda,
sure.
you-
Yeah, they confirmed that for the West a little while ago, but it's nice that they.
yeah, they
reaffirming
reconfirmed it.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
for a release date. Didn't see a release date. It said 2016, but it might be for Japan only. I'm not sure.
Probably. I mean, that
I
makes
imagine so.
sense because they only announced it like earlier this year,
Yeah.
like the game. So I'm just that's pretty quick turnaround if they're like, oh, surprise, we've been working on this all along.
So here you go. It's out now. What?
What? Yeah, but that studio also did the Attack on Titan game, and that was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
reviewed that.
Yes.
but
go check that out on IGN.com.
also go check out Megan's Berserk reviews because she's been keeping up with that,
Yeah.
and they're awesome.
Yes, tomorrow. Well, let's see, what day is it? By the time this goes up, you can check out my new episode, my new review of episode 11. That's where things are going to get really good. It's Mosgus versus Guts. Been waiting for this since episode 3. Stay tuned, kids.
So another show I've been watching, which is fine. Like it's just a show that I'm watching, and it's
It's fine.
It's fine. I don't know why I'm still watching it, but because I'm interested and it's fine. Servamp.
And vampires.
The
Vampire
Vampire
Cat?
Boys. It's like just a show about a bunch of sad boys, really. Like that's seriously what it is.
Man.
Aw.
Just like maybe if we can be friends, the vampires can be happy.
Oh,
That's pretty much what this is like. The moral of the story I've come to now is just like with how things are going with that show. It's
It's
not like
I don't know how to say it.
I know. It's like it's just fine though. Like yeah, it's not the best telling of the seven deadly sins and something,
Okay.
but it's not
Okay.
the best vampire story either.
But the Vampire Cat.
But I'm down.
It's the vampire version of Friends.
Yeah,
You mean everybody's dating each other?
and everyone's sad. Everyone's on a break.
shop every day.
these boys just want to be loved. So,
All right.
yeah, that's another thing I'm watching. Megan, you also had 91 Days written out.
I did have 91 Days. I finally caught up with it. That's the show about prohibition in the early 20th century. And it was good for a while, but then it turned into a road trip, like buddy trip kind of show for a while, and I wasn't sure what that was about.
Final Fantasy
departure.
15.
Yeah, it was it's still
Wait, like were they in like a Model T kind
basically, yeah, they're
It's like that scene from Zoolander.
that would have been good. That would have been
Orange
funny.
mocha frappuccino.
That movie is the best. Anyway, so no, it wasn't quite that fun. It's just they're hiding out from these different gangs, and it's not too convoluted. Like I can still follow it, but it's gotten a little pretentious in what it's doing.
So
and
they
this
didn't
whole
like go on a bank robbing spree or anything cool.
no, not
I'm
really.
mixing up
It's-
several decades.
That's okay. I followed, but yeah, they're
do that sometime.
hanging out and sort of hiding from these different families, and they're all out to try to kill each other. But I don't know, it's just slow going.
Sounds like
so-
Boardwalk Empire.
Kinda, I guess.
The anime.
but- The anime. Yeah. So, anyways, I am probably gonna drop that one. I'm 7 episodes in. I'm not feeling it anymore.
Oh man,
Dropped.
that's
Just
a
drop.
late drop.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's just it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, I guess.
Yeah, not holding your attention.
The thing
Yeah.
that scares me about getting into anime is like I don't know how to drop things. Like if I start something, even if I hate it, I like have to finish it. I'm like that with games too.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, so everybody put together a list of anime you want to see Andrew suffer through.
Oh no!
One Piece. No.
Wait,
next
start
up is-
One Piece. That would be so funny.
Start school days.
Oh god.
Anyway.
Wait, Makura no Danshi. The Return. That one's short. It won't kill you.
Yeah, that's not
It
so
won't
bad.
kill you.
There are some good episodes.
Two. There's two.
Anyway.
If you are familiar, we used to do Makura no Monday, where we would watch a short about boys in the office with Elena. Rip.
Oh.
Miss you.
Yes, we miss you. We love you. But yeah, that's a good one. It will drop your jaw and put you in therapy.
All right.
Jeez.
Yeah, if you pair that with like school days, you're
Yeah,
just.
if you play with school days, that's it, man.
I was gonna curse. Can't curse. Anyway, let's get on to some news. We actually
Yes.
have
News.
There's
a
big
really
news.
big news thing, which is announced. Whoa, crossover.
Yep, crossover.
Old school,
So-
report.
Night of news.
So this is kind of announced, I guess, on Thursday, which is today, but this is airing Friday. Anyway, super crazy thing is happening with Crunchyroll and Funimation right now. They are partnering to distribute anime in the weirdest, but also coolest and convenient way for, I guess, anime fans. Like, I really appreciate what they're doing, and it's almost like when they first told me that was happening, it's like, wait, what? Like, really? Because
Yeah.
they're competitors, obviously. They're both trying to supply anime. Every season where I'm like, okay, who's going to get what? All right. And we'll divide it up, make sure I watch these shows here and the shows there. And so they're making that a lot easier. So from now on, Crunchyroll is going to get all the subtitled shows for the summer season or like the next season, whatever it is. And Funimation is going to take those shows and dub them.
Yes.
And then that's how it's going to happen.
They're basically working together. So if you,
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
like, what? Okay.
basically, if you only watch dubs, your destination is Funimation.
Funimation.
Like, I mean, that's sort of like kind of how it's going to work.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how it's always been too, but to
now-
a greater extent.
Any simulcasts are going to be shared, and they're going to be on Crunchyroll. So
I mean, it's such a cool. It's the extremely rare partnership you hear about that feels like it's the best for like the consumer. Like it's the best. Like it sounds like this is like the perfect way because like I like what little stuff I do watch. I way prefer subbed anyway, and it's like okay, now I can go to one place.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
that's really cool.
When I was talking to the Crunchyroll GM, he was saying that it's kind of always been a goal for them to get like all of the season shows, like as much as possible, of course.
Yeah.
Within reason. And this is kind of them moving towards that with Funimation, just so that it's like, hey, instead of going to whatever dumb site you go to that's not legal, now you can come here. Like it will be here. You will find it, and it's going to be high quality, and you can support the anime industry, and it'll be great. And then, of course, now instead of Funimation focusing on trying to subtitle things and dub a bunch of things, they can focus on what they're really good at, which, I mean, it's not that they're not good at subtitling, but they're focused on, you know, producing dubs, which is awesome and helps a lot of people because a lot of people like dub, and do more of them possibly. So if you kind of look at it, like when Funimation first started doing their broadcast dubs, they did only like a few every season, and like ever since then they've gotten more and more and more, like up to like 20 shows. And it's ridiculous. And seeing them take even more from that, or probably will be really, really cool.
I'm curious to know. I don't know if you know the answer. They have said anything yet, but I'm curious to know what that means for bigger shows. Like, so Funimation is known for getting things, all the shonen shows like Dragon Ball and whatnot. And I'm just curious to know if that means that Dragon Ball will be subbed on Crunchyroll, like now they'll share those properties and it'll be dubbed, or if they haven't decided that yet, because that's sort of Funimation's big things, like these big shonen shows.
Crunchyroll doesn't really get like the Toei stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't
like,
get the
what happens
Toei
with
stuff. So
Toei?
what happens with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I know part of their deal is that some of the backlog between both of the companies are being shared. Not all of it. Like there's certain titles. So like Crunchyroll is giving, or Funimation is sharing Psycho Pass for the watch party. Hey, just for us. No, Psycho Pass and like Cowboy Bebop and a few other shows, which you can check out our news article if you want all the details because I have that with Crunchyroll. So those will now be on Crunchyroll, where also Crunchyroll is sharing some of their shows with Funimation from this summer season, and like Mob Psycho 100 and Berserk, and Funimation is going to dub those.
Yeah, and that makes
So-
sense with
That's gonna be great.
Funimation's kind of their body of anime that they like. That's their thing.
Yeah.
Mob Psycho and Berserk are two that make sense on Funimation also, especially for dubs.
And it'll be really great to see those dubbed too.
Yeah.
Like I see,
I'm
excited
really
to see
looking
it.
forward to a Berserk dub. That'll be good.
Yeah. But yeah, I was asking him, like, will there be any exclusives? Like, so if you get a license and then do you keep it for a certain time and then share it? It's like, nope, we're just gonna. This is a partnership. We're gonna work together and see what we can do. So
Nice.
it's just
It's really cool.
very exciting.
Maybe I will finally watch Cowboy Bebop so people stop making fun of me.
You'll love
Like
it.
seriously.
Promise.
Also, watch the dub because it's
Oh yeah,
Instead
the
of
dub's great.
awesome.
Man, I like
it is
never-
so good.
All right.
Like
Although
I
the
don't.
sub
I
has
felt
some of my favorite
Andrew,
voice
I like
actors.
anime culture, but not anime gold farm. I like subs, not dubs, but I don't watch anime.
Oh man.
I like.
There, okay, I got
Anyway.
all the making fun of you out of my system.
Anyway, I really want to know what you guys think about the
Love you.
partnership. It's really
Too.
cool. So
Yeah.
please let us know in the comments and
Yeah.
let us know what you guys think about it. But to continue pestering Andrew, I also prefer subtitled stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just like what I prefer. Like I
Yeah,
like just
same.
like the variety of voice
Yeah.
actors they have and just like how it is. And it's also just because I usually watch my anime early and I don't wait for the dubs. But if I watch a show late, then I sometimes will watch the dub.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird for me. Like, I prefer like it keeps me paying attention too. Like, it keeps me from like zoning out. Like, I have to pay attention if it's subbed. In games, I would prefer dubs. Like, it's weird
Really?
because for a game, I would rather have English VO so I can focus on like UI and what's happening. Like in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, like it was actually. Like there were certain parts that weren't subtitled, and it drove me insane. Like and like
You mean
like
the battles?
battle chatter and stuff. Yeah, so it's like
Oh.
Yeah.
with that, I would have way preferred having just everything dubbed.
Yeah, that's like when I was playing the Attack on Titan game. There is battle chatter, and I'm just like, I can't pay attention. I'm trying to slay these titans.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to read this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm totally giving you a hard time. I also prefer subs, but I do play
Yeah.
games with the Japanese VO too. Like
When it's an option, I like to try it usually.
I do it with all visual novels.
Yeah, like that makes more sense.
With the One Piece Musou games, I did it because it's usually just gumma gumma na.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't need to hear. I mean, like it's less irritating in Japanese because I can tune it out more because it's like not my native
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
If that makes
Totally.
sense.
Totally.
So yeah.
I agree.
But a few episodes ago, we talked about the dubs that you need to watch, and Cowboy Bebop was one of those.
Yes.
Because it
Okay.
is fantastic.
Why don't you watch our show, Andrew?
I watch it subbed.
Anyway,
So good.
Andrew, we brought you on here for a very specific thing.
I wonder
Yeah.
what could it be?
Huh.
I'm here to talk about Bioshock. Persona 5: The Daybreakers.
Yay.
Yeah.
Episode 0.
Yeah, so the
Which-
prologue.
Yeah, which is like really smart because I don't think I would have wanted because like the Persona 4 and Persona 3 animes are much more direct adaptations of the game story,
Yep.
and like I wouldn't want that yet for P5.
Oh no, like we don't want to.
Yeah, don't
It's
get
weird. It's like we don't want to
spoiled.
be spoiled by the anime for the game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's even weirder because this is like the very rare non-simultaneous game release where like it's out in or a week from today in Japan, whereas we don't get it until February. So it's like I especially don't want to watch story
Yeesh.
stuff now.
Yeah.
But this was a really cool way to kind of. So this basically sets up. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. This basically sets up like what like the Phantom Thieves are and like what sort of the core like group of protagonists are doing and like how they operate and sort of meeting like the core like group of 4 of them. But it's not actually giving away anything that's in the game. Like this is sort of like it's like a prologue / almost like alternate chapter.
Yeah, it's like a sample mission.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
This is kind of how it functions. Like this is our goal and
Yeah.
objectives, and
Yep.
this is how we handle it.
But it's cool.
We
I
kidnap
mean,
people into a weird realm, and
yeah, and that's the thing. Like they get like, and you point this out, and I think you're totally right. If you didn't know what Persona was, if you've never played Persona 3, Persona 4, never seen any of the anime, I feel like this is going to be confusing as hell. I don't think it does a super great job of setting up like what the like basic, just like core idea of that like franchise is.
yeah, which I think is fine. Like obviously, this is made for Persona fans. It's not
Yep.
made for people who are like, I want to get into Persona. I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah,
What
but
just happened?
start here.
So Mike, you said you watched it. How did you?
Oh yeah, no, it was great. What was cool is like because I've seen Persona 4 the animation,
Yeah.
and you know they get their powers or whatever as it goes on. Here it's like, oh, we already know what we're doing, and they're working a case.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And for the full episode, was it 25 minutes? Like they did a good amount of info that didn't feel like too much and too for me who knows and understands how Persona works. It wasn't too much to take in. Yeah.
I really liked how they handled the battles. Like they would just like tag in and tag out because obviously it's like a turn-based game, and so it's like how are they going to handle this? And it's very cute because they just kind of just keep passing the torch by just like giving each other high fives.
Yeah.
And like the style like switches for a second too, which is really cool.
Yeah. Speaking of style, can I say that every character, even incidental characters, are stylish as hell?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
I want to cosplay all of them.
It's like a costume
If I
party.
can figure out how to do Anne's wig, that is what I'm going to cosplay. I love her outfit.
Oh,
I
she's
love
so
her
cool.
style.
Yeah, and I
So
like
good.
it does such a good job of like setting up character dynamics immediately. And you're totally right. I like that it's not like the typical, hey, there's a new transfer student in town and he just got here and he's gonna meet all his friends one by one. Like instead of that, just like, oh crap, here you go. Like get used to this. Like it was just such a smart way of doing it. I also just love Morgana. She's so cute. And
I'm wearing a Morgana hat.
by the way,
Please
Yeah,
watch
we
the
got-
video.
we got
'cause
many Morgana
You got a lot
hats.
of Morgana hats.
Morgana's Japanese voice actress is the same as Chopper from One Piece.
and I believe Pikachu. if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
Pikachu
One
also.
of the characters, the older boy with the bluish hair, I can't think of his name, but I think that's
Yusuke.
the voice of Takehito Koyasu, who's one of my favorite Japanese voice actors. His voice is so hot. I've been in love with him since like the 90s, which is weird because he's a high school student in this game, if I'm right about this.
Oh my god, you scared me. So I was like, oh my god, what the hell, Megan?
No.
He's a high school student
voicing
now.
the high schools. Yeah, he's a very old high school
You were in
student.
love with a baby?
Before he was born, I knew.
I knew all
Prophecy
along.
said his voice would be hot. I'm super excited to see more of this. I love these characters already, and it's funny because this is my first Persona where I am meeting them with their Japanese voices. Like, so we haven't even heard at this point. We heard Morgana super briefly at E3, but we haven't even heard the English voice cast yet. So,
Yeah, that's also hard because once I think you are introduced to a voice cast and you get used to that, it's hard to break away to the other voice cast.
Totally.
Or at least I find it is very difficult for me. I'm like, but that's not what they sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of have to accept it. Like that's kind of what I had a thing with Rise
Yep.
in Dancing All Night because her voice actress changed, but she did
Yeah.
a fantastic job. Like I liked what she did.
Yeah, with Rise and Kanji, we've
Yeah.
had all these because we went from Troy Baker to Matt Mercer, and then we went from Laura Bailey to Ashley Birch, and it still works, and they're both like really talented. But
Yeah.
I totally agree that like that core P4 Golden voice cast that I'm used to is like what I think of as like their default voice.
It's interesting too because Chie's voice actually changed. That did bug me, but Matt Mercer and Troy Baker are practically twins. So
Yeah.
I took a moment to realize it wasn't Troy Baker
Yeah, me
anymore.
too.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that the way he said this doesn't sound right, but everything else does. But just this.
Yeah,
thing.
every once in a while, you're like, that didn't
Oh,
quite sound right. And it's
different
because
guy.
Well, and it's so funny, like the weird world of like Laura Bailey and Troy Baker interacting as Rise and Kanji, and then now they went on to be like the co-stars of Tales from the Borderlands, and now they're in Telltale's
and
Batman.
infamous, right?
Yeah,
Weren't they
yeah,
both
that's
in
right.
Infamous?
Yeah. She's fat. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it's just funny. Like the whole voice actor world is really funny to me. But yeah, I'm excited for more of the Daybreakers. I have this weird Sophie's Choice now of as they start coming out, do I keep watching or do I wait until February when I've started the game?
So that's the question. Is like, do we think that it's going to be more like of more prologue series stuff, which I think they said that it is.
Probably like
Yes.
Brotherhood, where it probably fleshes the
Yeah.
characters
Yeah,
out
okay.
without giving
Yeah,
anything
it's like a partner
away.
thing.
Well, and it's interesting because there was Persona 4 the animation, and then there was the Golden animation, and the Golden one is more about kind of the side stories, like the Marie stuff and what
Yeah.
they added in Golden on Vita. And I'm wondering if this is more of that, if it's sort of enriching the main story
Yeah.
rather than point for point what's happening. But
Yeah.
it's a weird spot to be in. Like I've never had that possibility of like a series spoiling a game.
No, I'm having that with Danganronpa 3 too. I'm like really,
totally.
really worried about that. So I have been like very slowly watching that.
Yeah, and that one I think bridges the gap
Yeah,
between
it is. It's in between.
So it's
2
between
and 3.
Goodbye Despair and
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
That makes
kind of an
sense.
issue because I had this issue with Kingsglaive for Final Fantasy 15. It came out before the game. The movie wants to actively avoid spoilers while pushing you to play the game. So it's weird they released it first because it's hard to judge a movie that really is a component of something else. So
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
I check out my review on IGN.com. and I explain
website.
it's this amazing
Never heard of
website
it.
that you can check out, and you can check out Anime Club on IGN.com and our YouTube channel and Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Roku TV and
so many places.
and so many other places.
You blacked out. It's midnight.
Wizard State.
The new Wizard State. Oh.
Kingsglaive's even weirder boat because like we played the first 2 hours of Final Fantasy 15 at PAX, and it's sort of assumed knowledge. Like I was actually happy to have seen Kingsglaive because I actually think it would have been more confusing to start that game not having the information. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like I don't know if Persona and yeah, Danganronpa is another great example. Like it's like a weird new trend where like these animes are coming out first with and did I say anime is wrong or something?
It's just anime.
Anime?
It's just cute. It's fine.
I'm gonna go read some manga. But no, it's that weird thing where like these series are coming out ahead of time, and like Final Fantasy, we're lucky enough is a global launch. Mm-hmm. So on November 29th, like we get the same time as everybody. But Persona, it's like a 5-month gap.
Yeah, it's a huge gap.
sucks.
It's a weird. It just makes it a weird spot to be in.
It's also kind of worrisome because like, you don't want spoilers for the game. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's coming out and people will absolutely be translating on their own and doing their own things and posting about it. So I'm going to continue watching the anime. Like, I don't think it will spoil anything. But
Yeah, I
even
hope
if it does a
not.
little bit, I'm okay with
Did
that.
they confirm how many episodes it's going to be for Daybreakers?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
All right.
To Google.
Yeah. To Google.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you're watching, let us know. We're curious to hear what you think about it. I liked it a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think the
me
animation
too.
was really great.
Me too.
Styling.
Yeah.
Styling.
I think it could be just a little more stylish though. We're missing those because if you've seen like GIFs of the Persona 5 menus, which is
Yeah,
dumb.
like
Like,
every
it's
transition.
that
Oh, yeah.
solid.
I mean,
the
I will
days.
say, coming from having just watched the Persona 3 movies, it's definitely, like, I literally back-to-back watched Winter of Rebirth and then jumped right in Daybreakers, and I was like, oh, holy crap, there's color, and it's not just, like, this drab, like, depressing world, because 3 is, like,
3 is
so
dark.
ultra dark.
Dark.
Yeah.
It's way dark.
And also, like, it's very... For lack of a better word, it's like very traditional. It's very like straightforward, and everything's like shot straightforward, and there are these beautiful moments in it. But in like P5, I already noticed like all these like swinging shots where you're like you are not quite getting the stylish transitions from the game, but you're already getting a little bit more like just weird like Dutch angles and like camera
Yeah,
movement and
it's
stuff.
more mature too. Like
Yeah.
they're high schoolers, but even though the anime took place and the game takes place in high school, I don't feel like it's childish. It's very dull. It reminds me more of Catherine than
Yeah.
it does Persona,
Yeah,
and I think that's a
totally.
very deliberate style choice on the developer's part. So
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I'm so excited for just to learn more about those characters because we still like there are characters missing from this. Like we meet sort of like the first 3 we ever met, like obviously the protagonist, and then Anne and Ryuji are in this, and then we get Yusuke, which is the blue-haired fox boy, and then Morgana, obviously. But we still haven't really met Makoto. What is it? Futaba, which is the hacker, and then the last girl whose name's escaping me. But we do meet Goro, who's sort of in that Naoto role of like investigating them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and he's on like a weird like talk show. Game show.
He's like some
something.
sort of like
Oh.
expert that they consult.
Yeah, like it almost felt like the natural evolution of what Naoto from P4 would have become as like a free agent, where it's like she's a detective for hire, whereas now it's like Goro is fulfilling that role. I know it's super.
Yeah. If he's not a navigator of some kind, I would be really surprised.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like obviously I think Morgana will have some kind of navigator role, but I would guess that's Futaba because we keep seeing her in front of a computer and stuff.
I don't know. We'll see.
Persona.
Persona, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Get
I
deep in
feel-
nerd talk.
What?
Really dumb because I think I remember them saying that this is actually just a special. It's not like a full season of anime.
Oh, just a one-off. Okay.
So I think there's one more episode after this.
Oh.
Oh.
And so
Alright.
it's just a big old prologue thing.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
So everyone's
that's
probably
cool.
like
All right.
banging their heads against the desk while we're talking about it. It's like, well, we keep watching this. It's like, you idiots. It's only 2 episodes. Or something like
episode
that.
0 and
Sorry, I
episode
thought it was
0.
one.
We turned into Subaru.
Anyway, yeah, I'm
Bringing
remember
it
them
back.
saying something like that.
Callback.
I mean, that'd be cool, but I mean,
That's even better then. Yeah,
Yeah.
like in that case, yeah, obviously I'll watch the.
Yeah, like I was
next part.
pretty sure it's like, I don't think they do like the entire
Conversation
thing.
still stands for Danganronpa though.
Yes.
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, of
yeah.
course.
So it's not irrelevant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to,
it's
to a
like
lesser extent,
a TV
Kingsglaive
special.
also.
Like,
Yeah.
Anime News Network has it listed as running time for 55 minutes, and so
Oh, okay,
does
yeah.
So we got the first half.
And
Yeah.
a chart.
my anime list.
Oh.
So
All right.
that also
Well-
says it's finished airing. So who knows? Anyway, Whatever.
Persona.
We brought the
Yeah,
Persona
anime.
expert on.
Oh man,
fooled
yeah,
him.
I love how you got the guy who really loves Persona and is also the head of news at this website. Still doesn't know anything. That's what we say here.
Anyway. Yeah, definitely keep watching that. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's super worth it, whether there are 1 episodes or 22 episodes.
Yes, you can find them all or one on Crunchyroll.
Yes.
It was kind of cool because it was just like over the week, like, surprise, Crunchyroll's gonna have the episode tomorrow. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And I was at PAX and I was like, I gotta go home. It's so cool though. I love those characters and oh my god,
Yeah.
more Persona.
Yay. Always Persona forever.
Yeah, Persona.
All right. So, continuing on with Persona, Andrew, you obviously really love Persona, if you can see on the video.
Never heard of it.
And so, our topic today, which will be a little short since we are actually going a little long, we had so many things to talk about today, is importing.
Oh, I do that.
Importing the toys,
I do
the
the
anime toys.
crap out of that.
And games.
I'm so excited because I have a friend who helps Andrew import Persona stuff, and she watches the show. Hi, Nico.
Oh no way! Hi,
Hey.
Nico. Oh my god, thank you. She got me my that big Kuromukuro that's right there from the third Persona 3 movie, and then I have Persona 4 shoes on order via Nico.
Wait, seriously?
Whoa.
They're
So
I did not
awesome.
know that was a thing.
Basically, what Andrew for his birthday, I was like, man, like I want to get you something like really good for your birthday, but you already have everything Persona. And he was like, actually, do you have a friend who lives in Japan? And I was like, I happen to have a friend who lives in Japan. Yeah. And he's like, can your friend pre-order this for me so I can get a plush?
Classic me.
So I Facebook message Nico like, hey man, my coworker needs your help. You're being called upon. And so now he
She
emails
did
her
such
like,
a good job though.
no, she like totally. She was so amused about the shoes. She was like, he wanted these Persona shoes.
They're so cool.
I was like, yeah, of course he wanted the Persona shoes.
I mean, my,
Yeah.
my thing with importing is that as insane as all of that sounds, like I use Bai a lot, which is like the Tenso forwarding service. And Bai is like specifically you can get from Yahoo Auctions in Japan, Rakuten, Amazon Japan. Like they do a bunch of stuff like that. Amazon Japan, you don't really need as much because they do a lot of the global shipping on most big items.
Yeah, like they'll have like an English version of Pages too. And
Exactly.
stuff.
Okay.
And so
For
I just
certain
made an
things.
account in English. It's super easy. Like Amazon is Amazon,
Yeah.
but in Japan. So that one's
not
easy.
GP.
But sometimes like it's hard to use those forwarding services. So yeah, Nico helped me with some Persona 3 movie stuff. And then shout out to Alex Myers on Twitter who also helped me with some stuff. And honestly, that's like the easiest way because you don't
Yeah.
pay the crazy
Having
item
a friend.
fees. And
Yeah.
because I've even like via Bai, I've gotten things that are 400 yen, which is like $4. And by the time I pay like EMS shipping and their actual item fee and all of that, it's like closer to 45 or $50.
Were they Persona keychains?
Maybe.
Yeah. I knew it. Yeah. So if you don't have a friend who lives in Japan, because like a lot of people don't. I mean, that's just something that like I'm very fortunate to know her in general, not because she's my mule in Japan. But there's also a lot of websites that you can get authentic, like licensed products from.
Yeah, and that's kind of the scary thing too. Is like if you're buying off eBay, like in the States or
Oh, yeah.
something, is like you run the risk of buying bootlegs, and like obviously you don't want that.
There's
Yeah.
lots of
Yes.
reasons why you don't want that.
And
Yeah.
also shipping. I mean, even if you are lucky enough to find something authentic, it literally might take 2 months to get something if you're just buying it from a rando seller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's often the case. So like there's a few websites that we can recommend that are just authentic and that we can vouch for. So one thing that me and Callie do a lot, and
lot.
Andrew,
Yeah.
is import Pokemon
Yes.
store goods.
Yay, Sunny Shore.
Yeah,
sure.
So, this is kind of, we also have like a fun story with this
We
too.
do.
So, as you guys know, we import a lot of Pikachu things. Like
A
we
lot.
post about on Twitter and stuff all the time because the Japan Pokemon centers get really cool exclusive. Like they do artist collaborations and other stuff that will probably never come to the United States. Pokemon Center's been actually really good about bringing over some of those products now.
Especially the ones that are really specifically Japanese. Like there's one with like a Daruma, and like
Yeah.
it's like a lot of people in the West don't even know what that is or what it's for. But that one even made it to the
Yeah.
Western
So,
Pokemon
Nice.
Center.
like Pokemon Center lines, so like the monthly Pikachu things and like other stuff have been coming to the Pokemon Centers in the U.S., which is really, really cool.
There's also
But-
weird exclusives. Like I don't just buy Pikachu stuff. Like
Yeah.
when it was first announced like the Ditto series. I got like all of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Ditto Chew stuff starts coming to the
absolutely.
Pokemon centers in the US
Yeah,
because they
I
are
agree.
so popular. Like we saw the Katari series come.
Atari, yeah.
But there are
But like its demo didn't come.
yeah, so like its demo is a different store, so it's not part of the Pokemon Center, which is
Right.
why it didn't come.
So
and
that's why you import it.
Yeah.
And then Pokemon Center also hosts different like artist collaborations with specifically Japanese
like
artists.
Little Tales and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
and those
Yeah.
I think Little Tales was its
don't-
demo.
Oh.
Little Tales,
think.
but I don't think that came to the West. I got a Little
Yeah.
Tales. I wish I'd brought it in.
complicated.
There's so
Sounds
much
like the
Persona.
same.
There's so much Persona stuff on the table that I was like, no, this has to shine.
Yeah.
But I have like its demo or a Little Tales Pikachu with a top hat riding a ponyta.
I have that too. I bought
And
that in Tokyo.
Andrew
It's
also
amazing.
has one. That one I actually didn't technically import. A friend got it for me and brought it back from her trip to Japan. But yeah, so like that stuff, the like obscure like collaborations that don't either there's like some sort of problem with bringing it to the U.S. Pokemon Center or whatever it is. Those don't always make it. So Sunny Shore is great, and we met Thank You Mouse.
Yeah, so the person who runs the shop, we met her at Pokemon Worlds.
What?
She's so
Yeah.
I'm
very
just
cool.
picturing Dead
That's-
Mouse, like the big
So,
like.
Thanky Mouse, like electric mouse. She's
So
like the biggest Raichu fan in the world.
yeah, so I
Nice.
followed her personal account on Twitter, and I saw this girl with a Alola form Raichu.
Like a custom-made
Oh,
plush.
what?
Yeah,
Wow.
so and then I saw her taking a photo of it. And I'm like, I remember Pokemon or Sunny Shore saying that they were at Worlds picking stuff up for people if they wanted to buy them. And I was like, is that her? Because I knew she was like a big Raichu thing. And then I went on her Twitter and I saw her post it. I was like,
She was like,
I tried not to be creepy.
And like Miranda tweeted at her,
like-
like, I just saw you take this picture.
Looking at your phone, looking back at it.
And so Miranda tweets at her and she tweets back, like, oh, come say hi. And so like Miranda and I like get up out of our seats after the like whole tournament is over. Like Wolfie has just won, everyone's losing it, and which you can find out more about on Pokemon Secret Base, IGN's Pokemon show.
Hey.
So we like get up from our seats and we're like, how do we approach her? And so we're like standing there like, hi, I really like your Raichu.
hi, also, we buy a lot from you.
Hi, we really like Sunny Shore. We buy all the time. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
It's just like one of those cool things. So just because like importing from that kind of thing is really hard because some of the Sunny or Pokemon Center Japan stuff is on Amazon.jp, but it's still hard to import a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that is just a site we recommend, and like the shipping takes a long time, of course, like we said with through AMS and stuff. It's just hard, but it's verified seller. She's really great.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
weren't promoted to doing this. Like, no, we didn't say we would do this. It's just like
No, like
people ask us all the time when we get our stuff, and so we just kind of wanted to talk about
Sunny
that
Shore
too.
is my favorite place to get Pokemon imported stuff. She also has free Iwatobi Swim Club stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
If you're really into free.
I think the nice thing is it's like Sunny Shore is one of the few stores where I will do the regular shipping and it doesn't take that long.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Pretty
at least.
prompt.
Yeah, it's
wow.
about 2 weeks. Yeah, and that's to California. Granted, it might be a little longer to like New York. But for me, like I almost always upgrade to EMS when I'm ordering from other places because I've legit waited 60 days to get regular shipping from
Jeez.
like slow stuff.
Yeah. So
Not from Sunny Shore, from other places.
if you're not looking to import Pokemon stuff, we have other places too.
Yes.
Yay.
So my other favorite place to import things is Tokyo Otaku Mode,
Same.
and they are excellent.
Yeah.
Though you have the same problem again with shipping. Like shipping, like as much as
hard.
I love that site, like, and also it's a little hard too because when they list something and if it's not for pre-order, you kind of want to get it as soon as you can because their stock runs out pretty quickly. Although you can import magazines, you can import Blu-rays, you can import so many like figures and other like exclusive merch, but their stock is pretty limited. So if you are importing from there, be quick. And
That's-
also,
Okay.
That's where I get my Rilakuma goods.
yeah, me too. Like my Sanex stuff. They're
They have
also a
Danganronpa shirts.
licensed Amuse seller. So they're like one of the very few where you can get authentic Amuse goods, and you're guaranteed that they are not knockoffs or anything.
Okay.
You don't want to knock off Al Picasso. You're just
Yeah,
like,
no, don't
they're
go
so
with that
expensive
stuff.
and the real ones are so soft.
Yeah, don't support the bootleg stuff if you can. And the thing is, like we said, shipping is the worst.
Yeah.
I remember I had like a $30 order and shipping doubled that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
I try and buy as much as I can
Yeah,
at
so-
once.
So
Yeah.
we did that once with Nendroid Fight Club Mako.
Yeah, so we actually
ordered
ordered
it
that
together.
through Good Smile. So if you didn't know, if you really love Nendoroids, if you love Good Smile, they have an official website and an official store that you can order from. It's in English.
I think it's goodsmile.en. I'm going to verify.
Yeah, but you
sounds
can just
right.
look it up, a Good Smile official store, and they have a really great website, and it's very accessible and easy. I think you have to pay through PayPal.
Goodsmile.info/en.
Yes.
I have a hard time finding it sometimes, which is why.
Yes. And so they don't have like an extensive store that's just like, hey, here's all of our stuff we've had forever. It's mostly pre-orders and some stuff that have just come out that weren't like overloaded with pre-orders. So that's like a super, of course, reliable place you can order from as well. They also have a really good bootleg guide too. Like I just want to give a shout out to that too. So like if you're trying to avoid the bootlegs, they have all these very small detailed things and examples of bootlegs, like very similar things. Like, hey, this looks like Good Smile official stuff, but it's not. Here's how you can tell.
You can tell if the sticker, the clear sticker, is not a circle.
Like the tape. If like the tape is not circular, then it is not official. Like all these very really good things. So
It's hard with the plushes too, like that. I guess right there is a Nendoroid Plus, and there's so many crappy. Like you order them, and they're just like crappy material and stuff. So that's super hard. It's generic and the go-to, and it's kind of expensive. But Play Asia is also super easy.
Yeah, I used to import games from them all the time.
For games, they're really good, and honestly, they've gotten a lot better with toys. They have quite a few shipping options as well, so it's like you can even down to if you don't mind video game logos and stuff on the box, then it's cheaper. But if you want a plain brown box, you can pay like an extra $1, and it'll be in plain brown. Like they have all these like specific things you can do, which is cool. Rakuten, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but
Rakuten.
Rakuten, maybe Rakouten.
Yeah.
They're almost like more of a like Macy's like department store style thing in some ways, but they also have a ton of like really cool toys and goods and stuff. That's actually where I have my P5 special edition pre-ordered from. They have a lot of stuff. Nin Game, which is where I got my whatchamacallit, Famitsu DX pack for Persona, which will have the little chibi Morgana and protagonist. There are just a lot of like, honestly, like it is really important to know like the handful of good reliable sites, because I feel like there are plenty of really bad ones that'll either take forever, rip you off, sell bootlegs. Like I've gotten burned so many times. So yeah, it's definitely good to be careful.
Yeah. I think that's why I don't really import a lot of stuff, and if I do, it's like I pre-order off Crunchyroll or like Big Bag Toy Store.
So I want to talk about Crunchyroll's site for a second.
Okay.
So they also offer a shop, but it's not their stuff. It's like they offer it through other distributors, which is fine. But if you pre-order or you buy something from Crunchyroll, it just make sure you buy it in advance if you're not buying a birthday gift or something. Like
it took
like
forever.
a month before.
I know.
Like it takes forever.
Yeah.
The motif we're seeing is that shipping sucks. Like I pre-ordered Majora's Mask Link on Good Smile, like the Nendoroid, as soon as it was announced, because I love Link. We all know this, and I have Toon Link already, and it never shipped. This brings us to kind of one of the next points on our list is I ended up getting it at a convention, and I used the guide to like make sure it was legit. And I think it was at Fanime. I literally, like, I was shopping around Fanime and I ended up buying a Zelda thing. Like, I didn't even
that obscure anime franchise.
But like, there's a lot of, if you just go to the like distributors hall or whatever it is, whatever it's called at your specific con.
Vendor room.
Yeah, vendors
Dealer's
hall,
room.
dealers hall, or whatever it is. You can find a lot of people selling similar goods. Just do a little shopping around. I found like Food Wars keychains at 2 separate cons because I didn't get the whole set and I wanted the whole set.
Yeah, cons are like a great way to do it. Like even Pink Gorilla was at PAX, and there are a bunch of cool little shops. Like the thing with shipping is like you can get stuff crazy fast. Like Amazon Priority Global, it's literally I've had it here within a day. And like granted, again, we're in California, so it's a little faster. But like I would say EMS, when I do it from Buyee or when I do it from a bunch of those websites, like I legit don't think I've ever waited more than 4 days to get something from EMS.
That's really good.
But I paid $30 for that shipping.
Right, so that's why
that's the thing.
The con, going to a con, I always joke like, oh, I paid money to go spend more money. Like I just paid $100 for a badge so I could go to the mall, basically.
That's how I handle it too.
But if you get enough, like I also got a full set of, I had gotten 2 Kill la Kill keychains as a gift, and it was Mako and Ryuko, and I ended up getting Satsuki and the other Ryuko one. So like I found this set that like someone had just brought me back from Japan.
I actually do most of my shopping at conventions. I go
You
on.
save
Yeah.
on shipping,
Oh,
obviously.
totally.
I save on shipping, and
If
then
you
I can
buy
actually
enough.
I can actually physically. Well, I did. So I'll just briefly do this because we're running out of time. But I brought a couple of things that I got at SAC Anime over the weekend. Shout out to Terrence. Thank you for shouting out "Yay Anime" while I was walking by. That made me happy. I bought a
nice.
couple of stickers, a Bishonen Batman and a kanji sticker. They were $1 each, and they're really good.
Nice.
So shout out to him. I got this Umaru wallet that I really like. And what I like about conventions is you can actually see and feel and touch and make sure it's not all
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
janky and whatever. So
Yeah,
I got
that's true.
this, and then I dropped heck of money on this awesome Play Arts Thor
Whoa.
figurine. It was
wow.
expensive, but it was
What?
worth it. Variant Play
God.
Arts.
Where did you
Oh,
pull
I see
that
that price tag.
I know. Yeah.
It's magic, but
like
there it
points like
is.
under the
I'm on
table.
this Marvel kick right now, so I have
Wow.
this Play Arts Square Enix Thor character. The armor is really sick. You can't really see it from where I am, but I might do an unboxing for people later. A lot of people requested that I unbox this.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Yes, and also you can get like a bunch of vinyl pop stuff. So I have Imaru, I've got Loki, he's a little bobblehead, and but I don't usually like to buy things without having actually physically seen
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
because I'm like
I agree
I
with
don't
that.
like when I order stuff. Sometimes it's dusty or it's bent or you know
Yep.
it gets jostled in the shipping process. And not only expensive, but sometimes it's broken, and you're like, nope. I like to go to conventions. I like to handle stuff.
Well, the cool thing also about going to conventions is like, yeah, the badge costs money, but if you
Someone just taking
Someone
it.
just-
Anyway, you can also get competitive prices. I don't know what's
Speaking of
happening.
anime characters, there's Zack Ryan.
Anyway, so one cool thing about conventions too is like you can, like I just said, competitive prices. So you can kind of also just shop around between the different booths,
Yeah.
especially like bigger conventions. Like a lot of people will be carrying the same things, and so it's like
thank
where
you,
it's-
Miranda. That's what I was getting to.
Where it's like $35 here, it might be $30 here, or
Yeah.
$25 somewhere else.
There's competitive prices too.
Yeah. But of course, like with that too, you do want to be careful with who you're buying from. Like we said, like you want to make sure that you're not getting ripped off with bootlegs and stuff.
Yeah,
there's a
and
lot
like
of good guides with that too.
sometimes the vendor at the booth will like seem a little insulted if you inspect it too hard, but like whatever. Do it
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Like
Yeah.
like when I was buying the LinkedIn Droid, I like looked at it and I said to the person I was with, like, oh, I'm just like checking to make sure it's not a bootleg. And the guy was like, everything here is legitimate. And I was like, I
think-
okay, but I'm being a good
Now I'm being
consumer.
now I'm being more suspicious right now because you're really insistent.
We definitely don't rip anybody off.
I think some conventions have things in place where they're not supposed to be able to bring in bootlegs.
Yeah.
I think I heard that from somebody, but I'm not too sure how universal that is. Like, of
Yeah.
course, conventions are run by different groups.
It's hard
And
to
it's also
enforce.
at a given booth. Like at New York Comic Con, there was this like super legit like above board section of like plush toys and stuff. And then he was like, "We've also got these," and like pulled out a drawer of like very clear like
Opens up
awful.
coat.
Yeah. One, it's like you can always tell because it's like, oh, we've got this awesome like Pokemon Red Nendoroid for $8, and you're like, all right,
Yeah, like the price is a really good given. Like, if it's way too cheap, then it's almost definitely a bootleg,
totally.
unless it's like used or weird or something. But one good thing, like if for Good Smile stuff, when I was at Anime Expo, a lot of people who were like official partners with Good Smile had banners up saying like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we are official Good Smile partner. You can get Good Smile goods here."
Yeah.
And like they are authentic. There's also Amuse banners too. So those aren't necessarily like we're partners with them, but sometimes they'll have so if you don't know, most Amuse toys are only available in Japan through Crane Games.
Yeah.
Unless you get them from other shops that resell them. And so if you don't know what Amuse is, they're a bunch of plushies like this one that's like super cute and they're soft and amazing.
And the quality is amazing.
Yeah, and there are tons of bootlegs of them, like everywhere. But one way to tell if it's not a bootleg is they'll have like this banner of all of the available plushies from that line, because that's what the banner they give, I guess, to maybe like the distributors who have the UFO catchers. So that's one way to like tell. And also Muse has like stickers and a bunch of other stuff. Anyway,
If you're not interested in chibi toys and plushies, you can also get tons of Bishoujo figures on Tokyo Takamo.
yeah.
Dem Bishoujo figures. There's
So-
some Saber. You know how much I like Saber figures.
Kind of going back to Tokyo Takamu too. I think once you hit a certain like shopping cart limit, like once you get to like $100 or more, shipping is free. So there are places that do shipping deals too,
Yeah.
Yep.
and like they have specials all the time. Like they have coupons all the time.
Yeah,
So just
Google
be
for
on-
Play Asia coupons too, because
Yeah.
like there's like especially if you're going to drop like $200, like there's like legitimately like $30 off coupons you can find pretty easily.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's our little guide to importing.
Yes.
Yay,
It's quite
toys.
extensive. Yeah, so there's just like so much to look out for. Like, have good shopping, also safe shopping, like do cool things.
Also,
Cool stuff.
be patient. Like I have, with Persona 5 especially, like I was so, because there's a different Japanese collector's edition, I was so concerned about it selling out that I pre-ordered it from via a really stupid expensive forwarding service. And if I just waited 3 weeks, then now it's on Amazon. I got code.jp with free global shipping and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, sometimes it does pay to wait. And I legit probably would have saved like $50 if I'd done it that way.
Man,
Womp womp.
lessons learned.
Yes. Expensive lessons.
Yes. Okay. Anything else you guys want to say about your toys?
They're awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy more.
More
that's for
anime
sure.
girls eating burgers.
Yes, please.
Yes, that would be amazing. Also, more little talking Persona 3 plush toys like the Makoto and Agus in the front.
Yes.
The Makoto one says Persona. It's very cute.
So
And
more
they come out with a
Mario.
Persona 5 clothing line, because I would be all over that.
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
drop that money
Just
to import that.
I
Badass
want-
plaid pants.
A plush of the baby Kangaskhan from Mega Kangaskhan. I
Aw.
just
Yeah.
want the baby.
That would be really cute.
Make it happen.
So next week I'm going to be in Tokyo for TGS all week long, and I will be Instagramming everything I can. So Instagram has these stories. If you tried adding me on Snapchat, I will not add you. That is personal. I'm not going to add you. Sorry. But you can follow me in a different way on Instagram through that little stories thing. You can see what I'm up to in Tokyo.
Jealous.
And
I'm so
if there's
jealous.
anything you guys want to see while I'm out there, please let me know, and I will do my best to find it. And I will hopefully and maybe possibly doing a haul video for our YouTube channel, which you can go to is
Yay.
youtube.com/anime club. So
Yeah.
subscribe
Plug,
to
plug,
that.
plug, plug,
Exclusive.
plug.
Yeah.
So jealous. I wish I could go with you.
Yeah. Are you going to go to Pokemon Center?
Maybe not the full one, but I'll probably go to the small ones in the stations and
and like the airport
Narita.
one and stuff, yeah.
Tokyo
cool.
Station
Cool.
has a good one, but the official one's like really far out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, let us know about import stuff that you guys, your experiences, your favorite places to import, and what you guys want to see while I'm in Tokyo.
Sweet.
Cool. And I think we're gonna go ahead and round up the episode there. That's a sign that we probably need to round up.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a long week.
Concluded. Yeah,
It
it's been a
has.
long week. It's actually a good episode. I'm sorry, everybody who wants to talk about Psycho-Pass. If you guys don't know, right now we're doing a watch party for Psycho-Pass. If
Yes.
you don't know what watch party is, every week watch 2 episodes of a show chosen by you guys. And right now we're watching Psycho-Pass, which is now available on Crunchyroll.
But if you're
And
not
Hulu and
caught up,
Funimation.
now you have a week to catch up. And in Miranda's absence, we'll be doing.
You're looking directly at me.
I did not mean to stare into your soul.
Also, announcement: Andrew's replacing me. So
Yeah, they wanted someone with real anime knowledge like me who has seen over 2 anime.
2 animes. But yeah, we will be continuing. There will be episodes, and we'll be talking about episodes 5 and 6 next week.
And
Yeah.
7 and 8.
and 7 and 8. So
And
we do
7, we'll be doubling. It'll be like a.
doubling up,
Double
catching
feature.
Up. So
We'll probably do like a really short topic and just talk about Psycho-Pass for a while.
yeah, so thank you guys
You're down.
for submitting your comments and responses. We will absolutely get back to them. Super happy you guys are participating in this show because it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
and intense.
And thank you, Andrew, for coming on. Where can people find you?
Me, I'm on Twitter and pretty much everything as Garfep. And I'm on Podcast Beyond, which is up on every Wednesday.
Beyond.
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 And I am just in random videos and stuff on IGN. I wrote a bunch of stuff. I was at PAX last week. I wrote about how realistic the lemons look in Paper Mario because I'm a real weird.
That was a great headline. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
And then where can everyone else find you guys? And what are you guys up to?
For those of you who don't know, I have a regular Twitch streaming schedule. You can find me at twitch.tv/Celtic_Queen. I play video games. I yell about wrestling and video games and anime a lot. Also, I finally joined Instagram like a month ago, so you can find me at Celtic_Queen_Meg. And always, Twitter is the best way to get me at Megan, MEGAN_IGN. I write Berserk reviews every Friday, so please be on the lookout for that.
And you like underscores.
Yeah. You can follow me at XPMNems. Talk to me about JoJo, Mob, ReZero. I like that stuff. And also, I'm going to jump into the Up at Noon show in a bit, so watch that.
Ooh.
This is going to
Watch
be
it on demand.
This is going to be on Friday, so watch
The videos will be
yesterday's
on
episode,
IGN.
and then watch everything going forward.
I had the same thought because I'm about to be on a live stream,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we have an hour. Miranda and I are been streaming Call of Duty, which is going to be sick.
Yeah, we're gonna slay.
Hate that I did that. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Inkydojiko, INKYDOJIKKO. I'm also that on Instagram. I post the things on Instagram. Pictures. That's what
There they are. Yeah.
it's been such a long week. I've been doing a lot of Call of Duty stuff. I just, if you're into the 80s at all, I did a preview for the Zombies mode in Infinite Warfare. I don't know, it's... The 80s is not anime. I was trying to relate it to anime. And I'm always doing Pokemon trash. I did a breakdown of the most recent trailer with all the mysteries from the storyline stuff that they introduced, so check that out.
Type null.
Type Null.
Oh, yeah.
Confusing.
It's like an anti-legendary weapon. It's so cool.
Ooh.
So anyway.
Then you can find me pretty much everywhere at Havoc, and that's Havoc with a K, like I said, on Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. And I wrote up that big Funimation Crunchyroll news story, so check it out because it has good details and more than we went into today in the show, like about home video stuff and other things and quotes and whatever. And of course, like I said, I'll be at TGS, so please let me know what you guys want to see while we're in Tokyo, and we will do our best to find it. And of course, thank you guys for joining us. This has been episode 63 of IGN Anime Club, and we will see you guys next week.
Yay.
Yay!
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I was closer that time.